I used to think people exaggerated stories about HOAs. I used to laugh at those viral videos. The angry woman, the clipboard, the fake authority. I thought, that would never happen to me. I was wrong. My name is Daniel Carter, and until 3 months ago, my life was quiet, predictable, almost boring. I lived in a middle-class suburban neighborhood in Arizona. Trimmed lawns, matching mailboxes, the kind of place where people smile but don't really know each other. And then there was Max. Max wasn't just a dog. He was my family. A 5-year-old German shepherd mixed with a scar on his ear from the shelter he was rescued from. Loyal to a fault. Protective but gentle. The kind of dog that sits by your feet when you're having a bad day, like he understands everything you don't say out loud. Max had one flaw. He barked. Not constantly, not aggressively, just like a dog. Whenever delivery trucks pulled up, whenever someone walked too close to the fence, whenever another dog passed by. Nothing unusual, at least I thought so. That was before Linda Watkins moved in. Linda was the HOA compliance officer, self-appointed queen of the neighborhood. Late 50s, short blonde hair, permanent scowl, always wearing polo shirts with the HOA logo stitched on the chest like a badge of honor. She didn't knock. She appeared. The first time she stood at the edge of my driveway, arms crossed, clipboard tucked under her elbow. "Your dog is in violation," she said flatly. I blinked. "Excuse me?" "Excessive barking. Article 7, Section B. We've received multiple complaints." I laughed, thinking she was joking. "From who?" I asked. She smiled, a thin, tight smile. "We don't disclose complainants." Max barked once behind me. Her eyes narrowed. "There it is again," she snapped. That was the moment I should have known this wasn't going to be normal. The letters started arriving a week later. Official notice, noise violation, $50 fine, then $100, then $250. Each letter more aggressive than the last. I tried to talk to Linda, reason with her. Explain that Max barked occasionally, that I worked from home, that I took him on walks twice a day. She didn't care. "This is a community, Daniel," she said, tapping her clipboard. "If you can't control your animal, perhaps you shouldn't have one." That word, animal, hit me hard. Max wasn't an animal to me. He was my companion, my anchor after my divorce. The reason I didn't feel alone in that house. Things escalated fast. Linda began documenting Max. She stood across the street with her phone out. She timed his barking. She took photos of my fence. She talked loudly to neighbors when I was outside. "Some people just don't care about community standards," she'd say, making sure I could hear. One afternoon, she cornered me in the driveway. "This is your final warning," she said. "Next step is enforcement." "What does that even mean?" I asked. She leaned in closer. "You'll find out." That night, I installed security cameras. I didn't know how important that decision would become. It was a Tuesday morning. Quiet. Too quiet. I opened the back door to let Max out. He didn't come running. I called his name. Nothing. My chest tightened. I walked into the yard. The gate was open. Wide open. Max was gone. I felt the world tilt. I ran into the street shouting his name like a madman. Neighbors peeked through curtains. No one answered. Then I saw it. A folded piece of paper taped to my fence. My hands were shaking as I read it. "Dog removed due to continued HO violations. Animal control has been contacted." No signature, just the HOA letterhead. I knew immediately. Linda. I jumped in my car and drove to animal control like my life depended on it. They hadn't received any dog. No report. No intake. Nothing. Panic turned into rage. I confronted Linda at her house. She opened the door slowly, smiling like she'd been waiting. "Where is my dog?" I demanded. She crossed her arms. "Your dog was a nuisance, a danger." "You stole him," I yelled. She tilted her head. "Be careful how you speak to an HOA officer." I felt sick. That's when she said the words I'll never forget. "You'll get him back, if you comply." I didn't sleep that night. I reviewed every second of camera footage, and there it was. Linda, at 6:42 a.m., using bolt cutters, opening my gate, dragging Max by the collar as he resisted. Clear as day. I called the police. They came fast. Linda denied everything until they saw the footage. She turned pale. But I wasn't done. I contacted a lawyer. I posted the footage online. I contacted local news. The story exploded. Co-officer kidnaps resident's dog. Sponsors pulled out of the HOA. Residents demanded meetings. The board panicked. Police found Max in Linda's garage. Scared, hungry, but alive. When Max ran into my arms, I broke down. Linda was arrested. Trespassing, theft, animal cruelty. The HOA dissolved within weeks, but I had one final move. I sued, and I won. Linda lost her position, her reputation, her home. The settlement paid for Max's training, vet care, and then some. Today, Max still barks, but no one complains, because this time, the neighborhood knows the truth. And Linda? She learned something she never expected. You can't bully people forever, and you never mess with someone's family.